We were wanting a first-degree felony. Jury saw it differently, and I understand why. I think, first off, it's just so hard for people to wrap their minds around the fact that somebody would do that to an 11-month-old baby. It's just hard to believe that somebody would do that on purpose. It's easier to accept that somebody did it recklessly, or for lack of a better word, on accident. And reckless isn't exactly an accident, but it's akin to it.
But what about the abrasions that she had on her vaginal and?
Well, I honestly believe that the decision was probably a compromise verdict. I think there were probably some jurors that went one way and some went the other way, and they hit the middle ground. That's just my gut feeling. I haven't talked. I don't know how you get past the indications of sexual assault, the fact that this has happened before. I know there was a whole lot on his statement, a lot of talk about it being an accident and that he didn't mean to do it. And
was he specifically talking about the shaking part?
Specifically talking about the shaking, that he didn't mean to hurt her, and I suspect some of that played a role in some of the jurors' decision.
Were you at all worried when the defense attorney, Mr. Washington, was asking for probation for his client?
I'm always a little bit concerned, but I didn't feel like that was something that Judge McKeck would seriously consider. I think probably the judge felt a lot the way I did. He got a gift in the verdict he got. Anything more would have really been a travesty.
What about the pending sexual assault charges?
Those are things we need to sit down and talk about in the office. I'll have to make some decisions. It's not something on the heels of just getting a verdict that I'm going to jump up and make a decision on. I'm pleased with the 20 years, and I need to decide. And I probably want to talk to the family. What I have talked to Jemiah's grandmother, I think she was very pleased with the judge's decision, and we need to see if they would even consider wanting to go through another one of these or not. The fact that he's going to be gone for 20 years may be enough, but that's something I need to think about after the emotions and everything of this kind of wear off a little bit. And we brought the child in so the jury and the judge could both see, put a face with what happened, with the injuries, instead of just hearing these cold, hard clinical facts. So I hope it played a role.
Do you normally do that?
We generally do try to present a victim. A lot of times your victim is somebody who can walk in on their own. I hadn't had too many where you have a victim like this, and now other sections when you have a dead person, obviously you can't bring them here. But even when I have a trial murder case, I'm going to have a photograph or something of them in here because I want them to remember that victim.
So Ms. Bender, Reed has just been given 20 years in prison as a sentencing by Judge McKeag. Are you happy with that sentence?
I'm very pleased with the sentence. Yes, I am.
What do you think was the deciding point for the jury as far as finding him guilty?
I did not have an opportunity to talk to the jury because I don't think they like to be approached immediately after making a decision. I can only guess that it's very difficult for people to wrap their mind around someone doing something like that intentionally or knowingly. In my experience.
Do you believe that's why they went with the lesser charge?
I don't know why.
Okay.
That just would be a guess on my part.
Do you believe the family is happy with the sentencing?
Yes, they are. They are very pleased.
Justice has been served for Jemiah, and we all know it's victims on both sides. I feel sorry for the family of the defendant, and I think that the family of Jemiah, no matter what this outcome is, it will never bring her back to what she originally was. And so I just hope that God will heal both sides. I know the hurt on both sides because I've been there with my siblings, so I kind of know both sides of the fence.
And do you agree with the lesser charges?
I respect the jury verdict.
Dan, how do you feel about the verdict? First of all, the guilty verdict, which was actually brought down to a lesser charge of reckless injury to a child.
That's correct. Disappointing. We were hoping for a not guilty verdict. But the jury has spoken. They had a chance to deliberate for, I believe, about 4 hours or so. And they reached reached their unanimous verdict, so we respect their decision.
And what about the sentencing? 20 years, he got the maximum sentencing for the lesser charge.
Obviously, it could have been more if it was a first-degree felony, and
That would have been life.
could have been life. These are substantial injuries to Jemiah. Robert's family, Robert and all, feel very badly for Jemiah and the injuries that she suffered. 20 years is a long time. We hope Robert can get the help that he needs, the counseling, but at the same time, it's a lengthy sentence. We were hoping for a probation. We feel as though he would live up to the terms and conditions of a probation, but the court felt otherwise.
So you were saying that you felt that Reed would have benefited from probation, and you asked for 10 years probation plus a possible 6 months jail sentence.
That's right. Our Texas law mandates that one can receive no longer than a 10-year probation for a second-degree felony offense, and so we thought that that would be plenty of time for Robert to prove himself to the court, prove himself to the community, and live up to the terms and conditions, and show that he deserves that opportunity. I do understand that he did have a probation as a juvenile 3 or 4 years ago.
And that was for cruelty to animals?
Cruelty to animal case, and of course he was unsuccessful in completing all the terms and conditions, but we have to remember he was a 15-year-old person at that time. He's 19 now, and he's had an opportunity to grow up a little bit.